So I'm a big fan of Eric's work, and I've learned a lot from his speaking academy. The top 3 things that come to mind is, first, it's how to craft your message, and that has helped me a lot in every single speaking gig that I've had since that time. And the second thing is the art of storytelling itself. There's so many tiny nuances to it that I didn't know before, and you practice it day in, day out for a 5-day seminar, and it really drills down into you. And the last thing was, the most important thing to me, was how to be in the speaker's state, so that no matter what goes wrong, which it will if you are looking at speaking professionally, what goes wrong on stage, you're still in your state and it doesn't affect your performance. So 5 months ago, I went on my TEDx stage, the first time ever, and I stood on that red dot about to start my speech, and the slides were missing. They had no slides, and I had to start my 18-minute presentation. In the first 5 seconds, all that fear, nervousness, anger came out, but in the 5 seconds itself, I could stop all of that and turn it into excitement, and I had the best time on stage. And that was one of the highest rated experiences that I've had, and was one of my best performances, I would say, on stage, and that's all thanks to Eric and me. So highly recommend this program.
The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. And it's about time we change that. If you have your smartphones, if you Google right now, university makes me. If you Google that right now, you know the first 4 automatic answers? Anxious, depressed, feel like a failure, stupid. Google, by the way, the tech giant, right? That happens to hire a lot of engineers. 15% of their staff doesn't have a professional college degree. Why? Because our education system is outdated. It was built in the 1900s. It was built for the industrial age. It was built for people to prepare themselves to live and have a creative life in the industrial world. It's outdated now. I can prove it to you. How many of you have a smartphone here? Great. How many of you had the same smartphone 2 years ago? There's some older generation people. Welcome back. If I had asked 5 years, nobody would raise their hand. If I had said 10 years, you'd be like, what are you, crazy? We want the latest operating system in our mobiles, in our laptops, in our home appliances. But the platform that impacts the entire humanity is more than 100 years old, hasn't been updated. We live in the information age. This old standardized education model is based on linearity, conformity, and batching people. It's outdated. I would say it's almost getting obsolete, right? We live in the information age. Something that you learn in the beginning of the university is obsolete by the time you graduate. Peter Diamandis, he said between 2016 and 2022, there will be as many technological changes, as many as we had between 1900s and 2000. That's more than 2,000% growth. And that's just the beginning of the exponential curve. Many of the interesting jobs today that we have didn't exist 5 years ago. What do? We don't live in the age of standardization. We live in the age of customization. Let me tell you a story. Do you guys know this guy? Kevin Systrom. So this guy worked in a marketing job. During the day, he would work in a marketing agency, and he will come back home, take out his computer, and start programming. Right? And he got so good at programming, he built an app called Bourbon. He later, after a few iterations, called that app Instagram. At the age of 28, he sold that app for $1 billion to Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, a college dropout. We don't live in the age of standardization, we live in the age of customization, and everybody can teach themselves. No 2 people are the same. How many of you have siblings? How many of you have siblings? Perfect. Did your parents ever come up to you and said, hey, come here, remind me, which one are you again? Never happens. Even if you're Indian, doesn't happen. There's 500 million people there. Doesn't happen. No 2 people are the same, and neither should be their education journey. We all want to be unique, at least the original copy, right? And we are unique. Start designing your unique education. And it's never been easier. Did you know that all the classes that MIT students are taking today, you can go online and take the same classes for free? Not just MIT. You can go on edX.org. There's MIT, Harvard, Berkeley, some of the best universities in the world. Pick the courses you like. Take them. Do you guys know Udemy? You can go on Udemy and learn basically everything from programming to photography. Right? Turn your passions into your professions. You can do that. Most of the courses are less than $200. I've purchased courses in their promotion for $15. Right? You can do that. Start educating yourself. And that's the first key. Just the only one. The next one, here's how you take it to the next level. How many of you know this guy, Elliot Bisnow? No one. Great. So this guy was a young American entrepreneur living in US, starting out as a digital entrepreneur at the age of 24. He felt really lonely. He didn't have, he had a lot of unanswered questions. What he did, he picked up his phone, started calling successful digital entrepreneurs in US and said, hey guys, I stay in Utah. I'm inviting a lot of digital entrepreneurs. Why don't you come hang out with me? And you know what? I will pay for it. He took $50,000 on credit card debt and invited 50 different entrepreneurs for one trip. But then he was on to something. Next year, 200 people came, and they paid. The year after, 700 people came, and they paid. Today, he gave birth to what we call the Summit Series. People like Richard Branson speak at that event today. And he was voted as the coolest entrepreneur by Inc. magazine in 2009, right? You know what he was doing? He was bringing together people with similar interests, similar pain points, and similar lifestyles. And that's the key. Find your tribe. We are social animals. We are naturally inclined to connect with people who are like us, similar values, similar interests, similar belief system, right? And we thrive in that environment, right? That's where you share the latest practices. That's where you learn and you teach each other. You learn and grow with each other together as a tribe. And when you find your tribe, something interesting happens. On May 28, 2017, I landed in Barcelona about 4 months ago. And I joined 400 people from 50 different countries that said, we will relocate to Barcelona for 1 month and we go deep into personal transformation. We got together and we had some of the most incredible teachers in the world teaching us and having workshops every single day. This is Vishen Lakhiani, founder of Mindvalley. He's teaching us on advanced goal setting. This is Lisa Nichols, the star of the documentary The Secret. She's been on Oprah many times. She's teaching us the art of storytelling. Some of the most incredible speakers, UK's #1 hypnotherapist, the guy who sold 20 million books, the CMO for a billion-dollar company, guy who trains Hollywood actors on fitness, and the guy, the monk, he trained the star cast of Doctor Strange. These are the kind of workshops that we were having. And, get this, in the evenings and on the weekends, we partied in the streets of Barcelona, right? We connected with our tribe, right? We had spaces to connect deeply and meaningfully with our people. And we call this experiment Mindvalley University. Now, what if this was part of your university? These are what I call deep immersions. Deep immersions are like, you know, have you guys been to Disneyland? Yeah? Have you noticed at the end of the day, kids are really sad? Some are crying. Some parents are trying to drag them off and they're going, no, daddy, no. You know why that happens? Because they just experienced a deep immersion. Deep immersions are powerful. They are like highly inspiring, fun, exciting moments that you experience. And deep immersions are basically when you come together with your tribe and go deep into a particular topic for a very short period of time. It could be from like 1 day to like 5 days, and then stir some emotions, have a lot of fun, and create a lot of lasting memories. Right? And these are your conferences, your events, your summits, your TEDx is a deep immersion. You come together as a tribe, right? Your deep immersions are extremely important, and that's the third key. And your deep immersions go back, add into self-education. When I came back from Barcelona, I came back with a list of 7 different books, 3 different online courses, and 3 classes I'm taking in Kuala Lumpur right now. Because I got those things, got those ideas, right? Added back into my self-education. And this becomes the wheel of modern education. Self-education, my tribe, and deep immersion. And here's the thing. The smartest people in the world, the outliers, the game changers, the moonshot takers, they never quit their education. They simply escape the outdated education system.